It begins, brothers. Tovarishchi, the international revolution begins. Welcome, my friends, to a multiplayer battle in combat mission, Cold War against Richard York. That's right, guys, I've decided to take the Soviet side. And suffice it to say, I didn't want to put you through the actual start of the battle because the setup here was absolutely insane. And what I'm trying to do is, of course, make it here to the town before Richard does, but also set up our tanks on this hill, as you can see, as the rest of our Soviet infantry steams forth. Now, I'm hoping he doesn't have any artillery, because a nice drop right in the middle of these units right now would be absolutely devastating. Nonetheless, this is the approach, is to try and make it into town before Richard gets there, and to try and start setting up defensive positions. As you can see, I spread out my men over there on the right side as well, guys. And I think what we're going to do, now that we've reached this location, is pretty much try to set up the best defense possible as Richard approaches. Now, I actually wanted to have some of these guys on top of the hill firing. I think I'm actually going to keep these two tanks up here. But what I'm going to do with most of our infantry units is immediately start sending them out into these locations. So let's make that happen here. So free to hit that end turn, but I want to get into that building. I really want to get into any building I can. We're going to dismount with this unit. We will dismount with the platoon leader heading to this building. And I'm just going to stay on the first floor right now. I'm not going to do anything crazy. However, with this main battle tank, what I'm going to do is quick move over here and just hunt right next to the house. I want that guy right next to the building. I want to do the same with these units over here. We'll get a few of them out and just quick move them into, let's put them on level 3 of that building. I'm also going to get this officer to head to level 3 there. The rest of our men are arriving, as you can see, but we've got a certain approach here that I've already pre-selected. And what it is we are going to hunt, once we get to this location, to really basically, open fire if we see a single enemy unit. Although I might have to move these guys a little faster than anticipated. So let me actually quick move this tank over here, and I'm going to hunt forward with him. We've got another unit over here with available scout units. Actually, what I'm going to do is acquire some heat rockets. And then the next movement will be to quick move him into level 1 of that building. I'll actually use the IFV to try and keep the enemy back. Yeah, we can actually keep that approach. I've got no issue with that. As for the infantry approaches, I've got no issue with that either. Although once these guys reach this location, they might as well continue forward into those buildings. So let's push here, and we are going to also quick move him into this building, level 1. Just a regular house, pretty much. I think I like this approach with the rest of the infantry, because again, guys, we want to make sure that our men are focused on the tree line as soon as possible, because Richard is going to be heading out of this tree line, I'm pretty sure. The same thing with these tanks. I don't want to move them forward too much. I just want to kind of do this. Hunt the rest of the way. Even this is actually too far in the open. Let's just do hunt to the edge of the tree line. This guy's already hunting to the edge of the tree line. And we do have a group of infantry there, guys, that I have sent directly to that church to try and get things started, pop things off. Actually going to stop his movement, and I am going to quick move him to the church as well. And the same thing with this tank. I want him on the edge of that tree line, so if anything appears on that side, we are ready for it. Yeah, I'm just going to quick move him to level 2. With a few of these infantry, what I'm going to do is just kind of get them on the edge of the woods. So this guy, I'm going to quick move him right there, and then we will hunt to the edge. We don't have really anybody on this left side, so I really hope that the tanks do their job. We've also got some machine guns approaching, and I'm trying to put those machine guns, as you can see, directly on top of the hill. Looks like we even have additional units back here, so I'm going to quick move this MG group over to where the tanks are here. And why don't we take some of these vehicles, although this is just anti-air, it's not going to really help, and quick move them over here, start hunting the rest of the way. Alright, folks. I think the only other thing I'm going to do... No, we'll keep those officers up there. I think that's about it. Not going to mess around with it too much. I've pretty much got the approach I want here. Maybe just one thing with the amphibious recon vehicle. We could probably just get him to quick move and then hunt the rest of the way there on the tree line. Guys, let's hope this goes well. This is going to be an absolutely massive battle. And let's just hope that it's not record casualties for us. Let's hope we can knock Richard down a peg or two and get some nice kills here. I think we'll also just very quickly dismount this unit and send him over here. Now that's something to pay attention to. As you can see, there's smoke on the edge there. He might already have some units exiting from that tree line. We want to be prepared. Well, here we go, folks. Wish us luck. For Mother Russia, boys. Here we go. And I'm expecting or anticipating that he's going to have some units here. Ooh, we already got a hit. We already got a hit on front hull of an enemy vehicle. Just took a penetrating hit right there, guys. Our men are getting out and getting into the building. This is exciting, boys. We have got World War III. We just got a hit on that tank. I think we got a kill on that tank, as a matter of fact. But it looks like he is choosing not to move into the town. He's holding on those hills over there. Just got a kill over here on one of our other pieces of armor. He's absolutely moving on those hills over there. So he's going to try and hold that position. Of course, we are going to try to hold the village and hopefully find a way to wind up there. Now, let me actually back up just a bit here. I want to see what our infantry is doing there. So we are getting into the church. That's good to see. But how useful is that actually going to be to our men overall? I'm not sure, guys. We've also got one of the beautiful T-62s right up there on the building where we want him. We just have to try and get the rest of these men into a building, or alternatively, hold our existing positions. But I don't think that's going to do us any good. We're going to have to push these guys into somewhat more opportune positions of fire, because they are going to stay put. So here's what we're going to do. We will immediately... Actually, I like that hunt maneuver, but I'd rather just have him hunt directly. This way, as soon as he sees an enemy, he will open fire. And I think for the rest of our units, we are just going to keep them here, with the exception, of course, of the infantry. We're going to get them into these buildings, and hopefully from these buildings, we'll be able to hit the enemy up here on the ridge. Let's take a look over here. I'm keeping those tanks where they are as well. For the most part, we're not going to do much movement. We're just going to kind of keep our guys where they are. Plenty of disposable AT rockets. Let's actually quick move this guy to level 3 of that building. So we're starting to spread out our conscripts just a little bit more. We have chosen to fight in the town, so we better take our positions and try and make the best of it. Just doing a hunt maneuver so that they know to begin looking for targets here. And I think I'll keep these guys up on the hill. No real reason to move them. For now, let's just keep them up here, and hopefully they'll continue to take out the enemy. They actually have a pretty good visual on the enemy over there. Best of luck to our boys. So let's just take a look there. One down, one recon vehicle down. And we also have a tank that was destroyed over here. But other than that, I think we're doing okay. It also looks like he's got some infantry over here. I wonder if he's moving forward with them. It kind of looks like he might be trying to do that. So maybe getting one of those machine gun groups over here as quickly as possible. And that's exactly what they're doing. Let's see what happens, boys. Here we go. The revolution must go on. Moment of truth. Love that little German flag we've got there as well. Oh, baby. All right, we hit the upper front hull of that tank. Ooh, just vaporized one of our vehicles there. Glad we've got most of these guys out of the vehicles, and now we've got some small arms fire going on. Also, just got a penetrating hit on their tank. Let's back up a second. I want to see who got that. Hold on. Oh boy, right up there. So was it the guy that we put on the corner? I think it may have been. That is amazing. Yes, it was. It was the guy back here, actually. Not even one of the tanks. And it looks like they are popping smoke over here. Really good idea by Richard. So he's definitely going to be taking part of the town here. And it looks like we might even have some AP anti-personnel rounds popping up here, or potentially enemies in the town proper. I think that's what's going on at the moment. Just going to back up. Again, no additional hits on our vehicles except for the one that just got killed there. We've got most of these guys hidden in the woods, and there's definitely small arms fire going from our position here. Oh, devastating hits by him on two, well, not two tanks, but one of the tanks back here. We're definitely exchanging fire with the rest of his armor out there. And we absolutely killed this guy up here on top. I believe we also killed this guy over here. He's got basically all of his tanks just kind of hugging this back area. And for sure we hit something over here. I'm not entirely sure what it is. But guys, I get the feeling that despite us being here in town, and in a pretty decent defensive location with our infantry, and of course with a bunch of approaching infantry, I get the feeling that he's actually right there. That basically he's got infantry in those buildings. And there's only one way to find out. Now, like most combat mission games, remaining in place is not always the worst idea, because in many cases, remaining in place is exactly what you need to do to get a better visual. So it's sort of like an Overwatch thing, that essentially, once you set up a defensive location, the chances of you getting a hit if you wait there 2-3 minutes are greater than a unit that just arrived. I hope that makes sense. I think for the veterans that will make complete sense. But again, I'm very much a noob, so I'm just applying the suggestions given to me in many cases by veterans of this game. I like the fact that these guys are in the tree line. I'm not sure I really want to change that. Although I wouldn't mind pushing forward the tank because he's kind of on like a slope. And it's not the best position for him. So we're just going to kind of move him like that. As for this commander unit, I'm going to get him level 1 over here. I think we can also get out with this unit and just quick move over there. Once again, just getting in the woods and holding position. Though I don't like how these tanks have gotten pinged up here on top. Did not expect them to get destroyed. I actually thought that that hill position would be perfect for us, and now I'm not so sure. So I don't want to risk any more of them up there on the hill. There's really no point in keeping them there. With the tanks here, I am going to hold this position and hope to God that they get some kills on the advancing enemy units. You can actually see one of the enemy tanks right there. I actually hope these guys can spot him. Let's actually hunt just a bit. I'm not going to move them too far out. I'm just going to hunt a bit here to try and get a visual on the enemy there on the right. We'll hunt forward with a few of the machine guns. But I think it's going to be down to our infantry to secure a victory here. In fact, we'll hunt with this unit right to level 1. So a few of these guys will just be basically crawling across to look for enemies. Let's make it happen, boys. The glorious Soviet Union shall be victorious. And the onus to attack is on us. There we go, boys. The battle continues. We're pushing as quickly as we can, but I think he's got, yeah, he's absolutely got those units on top of that hill pinned. Initially, I thought that was going to be the perfect location, but it turns out not necessarily. Now, we do have some guys over here in the actual church. We're starting to tag a bunch of the enemy here, but they are lighting us up in the church. What about over here? Oh, yeah, he said anti-tank guided missiles, and he wasn't kidding. And we're definitely starting to hit their infantry advancing over there, but I'm not sure how we're doing against the rest of their armor. Knocked out 2 tanks up there. As for the rest of their tanks, we're going to have to wait and see. Nice shot. And at this point, at least our infantry are absolutely in town before him. You could just sort of start to see his infantry breaking hills over here. Or I should say breaking across the hill. But he's kind of just right there on the edge. It doesn't look like he's dedicating any serious assaults to the area. He might just stick back there. In fact, I'm going to go back 10 seconds just because I want to see if he spots any of his infantry units. But as far as I can tell, definitely not. Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. One of our guys just got a shot there. I don't know why this guy is turned away from the enemy. Oh, baby. All right, a nice little hit right there before the end of our turn. I mean, that is hopefully a really nice hit. I'm going to keep most of these guys right where they are. Again, I'm not going to be moving forward with any tanks. That would be suicide. And I think just staying on the perimeter here of the wood, I'll try to get you guys another view here, is the way to go. And basically just trying to hide whatever units we can, trying to get in to the buildings with some of the infantry, of course, would be helpful. So let's get over here, get to level 2. And same with this unit. We're going to quick move him, get to level 2. In fact, I'm going to hunt right there to the edge of the building, kind of like I did with the tank before. And it looks like we may have actually knocked out 2 tanks. I see 2 trailing bits of smoke there. I'm hoping that means we knocked down 2 bits of armor. As for the machine guns, I think for the most part, we're going to keep them here. We might move forward with 1 or 2 and just get to level 1 of that building. But it looks like they are pulverizing our infantry unit here in the church. I am definitely not going to move with him. We might just have to let them kind of get the church here. Another alternative is to send another one of our units over there to assist. But I don't think anything good's going to come of it. So we will hunt forward with that unit. And just continue getting in the buildings here. I like the positioning of the placement of these tanks right here next to the buildings. So I think I'm going to keep things that way. And let's turn it over to Richard York. We actually do have additional units back here. We could just start pushing forward with them. I kind of wanted to keep them here as a maybe. But let's at least get them up there on the hill. And I'm hoping that the remaining machine gun units up on this hill are going to be able to knock down the enemy infantry that's advancing. We're going to have to wait and see. It looks like they still have tanks here, but look at that. That is a dead tank, sure enough. He does, however, still have this guy here. We've killed more of the tanks than it seems like, just because they're not all smoking like evidently our tanks are. And what is this? Again, I'm thinking it's just enemy infantry pushing forward. Yet another reason to be very careful. And we're actually going to hunt forward with a few infantry units here. Not necessarily go to the buildings, but just have them hunt forward so that when the enemy infantry arrives, we are prepared to open fire on them. Let's hope that they don't have anyone here. We'll get on the 3rd floor there with one of our infantry units. And I think we're going to turn it over to Richard York. Not without moving these additional infantry units, though. I'm going to go quick move. And actually, when he gets about here, I'm just going to have him hunt forward towards the building, not actually to the building yet. And with this guy, we will move to the building, get to level 4. Hopefully from here we can put up a pretty good defense. I'm hoping he's going to do a counterattack. The onus was on us to begin the invasion. Now hopefully Richard will start attacking us, and we'll see how we do defending this village here from the enemy.